They came without warning. The Zarkrith Dominion, a war-hardened empire spanning 100 worlds, struck at the heart of Earth's defenses with brutal precision. Humanity's champions, the Paragons, were the first to fall. They fought as legends do, their enhanced bodies and tactical brilliance holding back the alien tide longer than anyone thought possible. But the enemy came prepared. Cloaked dreadnoughts bypassed Earth's orbital defenses. Sabotage and betrayal crippled supply lines. The Paragons were hunted, cut down one by one, their names erased as if they had never existed. The battle was lost before the world even realized it had begun. Across every major city, screens flickered to life, broadcasting the Zarkrith Emperor's chilling message. His mandibles clicked with amusement as he surveyed the ruins of Earth's space stations. Your guardians are dead. Your fate is sealed. Submit, and your species will live to serve. Resist, and humanity will be a footnote in history. Silence followed. No counterattack. No defiant speeches. Just a cold, creeping dread settling over the planet. In an underground command bunker, General Rena Kane stood motionless. The feed of the massacre played in front of her, flickering images of Paragons lying broken in the void. Her fingers tightened into a fist. They had trained their best. Raised legends. And now? Gone. The officers around her murmured, throwing out desperate strategies, but Kane already knew the answer. It was written in the classified files at her fingertips. There was one last protocol. One final contingency. A weapon too terrible to be unleashed while the Paragons still lived. Her voice cut through the frantic discussions. Activate Project Angelus. The room fell into stunned silence. A lieutenant's voice cracked. Ma'am, that project was shut down for a reason. They took our heroes. Kane's stare was ice. Let's show them what we keep in the dark. Deep beneath the surface of Mars, enormous cryovaults shuddered to life. A warning klaxon howled as frozen sarcophagi hissed open, spilling mist into the artificial darkness. Inside those chambers they waited. Not men. Not soldiers. Something worse. They had once been Paragons, before death claimed them. Warriors too valuable to let rot in the ground. Their bodies had been recovered, their minds preserved, their rage crystallized into something far beyond human. Cybernetic warforms, reconstructed from the wreckage of the fallen, now infused with quantum neural cores. Wings of refracted energy unfurled as power surged through their reforged bodies. Their eyes snapped open, burning white with purpose. Not saviors. Not protectors. Vengeance. A metallic voice whispered through the awakening chamber, words stripped of emotion, yet heavy with something far worse than anger. Designation, Angels of Vengeance. From the depths of Mars they rose. And death followed. The Angels of Vengeance launched from the depths of Mars, piercing the void with trails of searing light. They did not travel in formation like the Paragons once did. There was no need. Each one was a force unto itself, a singular harbinger of destruction. Their first target was Outpost Core, a Zarkrith command station orbiting a conquered human colony. The enemy believed themselves safe, shielded by fleets and planetary defenses. They never expected what came next. The Angels did not slow down. They crashed through capital ships like meteors, bodies shearing through reinforced hulls as if they were made of paper. Enemy soldiers scrambled to their stations, desperate to fire back, but their weapons meant nothing. An angel landed among them, its wings of refracted energy slicing through bulkheads, turning metal and flesh into the same molten ruin. It did not speak, did not hesitate. Plasma erupted from its arm, incinerating a corridor full of panicked officers before they could so much as scream. Another angel hovered outside the command bridge, watching the Zarkrith Admiral bark frantic orders. The alien's mandibles clacked, eyes bulging as it realized that the war form wasn't breaching the glass. It was watching. Studying. The Admiral drew breath to order the retreat, then the walls around him crumpled inward. The angel had collapsed the gravity in the room, turning every living thing inside into pulped remains. One by one, the station's defenses fell silent. The few survivors tried to flee to escape pods, their ships burning toward the outer system. But the angels do not allow surrender. One angel extended a palm, and space itself twisted. The escaping vessels veered off course, caught in a field of bending light, and in a flash, were erased. Words spread faster than light. Zarkroth fleets abandoned their posts, commanders refusing to face what they couldn't understand. The Paragons had been warriors. The angels were something else. The enemy retreated toward their homeworld, hoping to regroup. But the angels did not wait. They were already en route. The Zarkroth homeworld was a fortress. Defensive arrays covered the skies, planetary cannons capable of reducing fleets to wreckage. Millions of soldiers stood ready, convinced that even if the angels reached them, sheer numbers would end the nightmare. They were wrong. The first wave struck like falling stars, piercing the upper atmosphere before the defense grid even registered them. Anti-air turrets fired wildly, but the angels moved too fast. One vanished in a burst of light, reappearing inside a weapons facility, its graviton spear collapsing the entire structure in an instant. On the ground, the Zarkroth scrambled to form battle lines, believing they could fight if they stood together. The angels proved them wrong. One step forward, its wings unfurling into a halo of burning plasma. It strode through gunfire, weapons disintegrating before they even reached its armor. The moment the Zarkroth hesitated, it moved. A blur. A flash. Then bodies crumpling, dozens at a time. In the skies above, an angel reached out, fingers twisting in the air. An entire Zarkroth dreadnought stopped mid-flight, caught in an unseen force. The warship's hull groaned as gravity around it collapsed inward, folding metal and bodies alike into something unrecognizable. Panic spread. Officers screamed for a retreat, but there was nowhere to run. A desperate last stand formed around the Imperial Citadel, the grand fortress where the Emperor and his war council waited. The last of the Zarkroth elite surrounded it, prepared to fight to the last. They never got the chance. The front gates imploded, an angel stepping through the dust, the light radiating from its form casting long shadows across the trembling guards. It did not stop walking. The Emperor's voice broke as he tried to speak, mandibles clicking in fear. He had ruled 100 systems, reduced planets to cinders. He had been untouchable. Now, he was kneeling. He offered riches, treaties, everything in his power. The angel did not reply. There was no mercy left in humanity. The last thing the Emperor saw was his own world burning as the angels of vengeance delivered judgment. The war ended in silence. No treaties. No negotiations. The Zarkroth homeworld lay in ruins, its once mighty fleets reduced to drifting husks. Entire sectors of their empire fell without a fight, surrendering before the angels ever arrived. Fear had done what war could not. It broke them. Across the galaxy, rulers and warlords who had once mocked humanity watched in horror. The Paragons had been noble warriors, protectors who upheld honor in battle. But the angels? They were something else. They did not conquer. They did not demand fealty. They punished. The surviving Zarkroth fled into the void, their empire shattered, their legacy erased. No one would remember them as warriors. Only as an example. A warning. And then, just as suddenly as they had appeared, the angels vanished. No fleets, no declarations of dominance. One by one, they returned to the void. Their mission was complete. On Earth, General Renekane stood alone in the war room, watching the final transmissions from the battlefield. She had sent them into the stars knowing there would be no coming back. They were never meant to return. Humanity would not become monsters. The world was safe, but the cost would never be spoken of. The angels of vengeance had not been heroes, nor had they been villains. They had been humanity's last answer to war. And now they were gone. The galaxy would never forget them. And no one would dare test humanity again.